Well, another farm project this week. I'm not on the road, so I am getting ready for winter. And this year, that includes some work on our snow plow. And so I brought it over from my mom's next door and found a fair bit to fix. Pardon me. So, sprocket, pretty worn, missing a tooth. Figured there's no reason to wait till that strips right off. Plus, we just had bought a nice box of chain, so I don't want to wear that out unnecessarily quickly. This thing is pretty hard on chains anyway, so you got to buy good heavy chain and keep the sprockets decent. So the fan, I've got the fan off because I had noticed when I picked it up that it was creeping forward. We had found a whole bunch of baler twine that was wrapped around behind there, and I don't know if that started pushing it ahead or if it was just creeping ahead on its own. But it actually wasn't. The fan wasn't even altogether in the hole anymore. It had crept forward so that part of it wasn't even throwing snow out the hole. So the more I take apart, the more I find, and so I'm just going through it and fixing what I can. Depending on the year, we don't use this a great deal, but we have had years where we use it quite a bit. So it's nice to have it ready to go, and you don't have to fear the snow. But this fan, the project I'm going to tackle this morning, you can see kind of how it has this kind of spiral piece in the front that's supposed to pull snow in and break up, hard snow, this front piece. There's some straightening out to do here. But it obviously, Dad hit something fairly significant, probably a fence pole or something. And you can see this is how the piece should look. This side is pretty unscathed. And then this side here, we're not looking at a real smooth path of drawing snow in here the way this is now. So that's the project. She's a beast, this old girl. I don't know when this plow would be made. I'm guessing like 70s sometime. We got a tag on it here. Rotary snowplow. There's your serial number. I don't know if that 74 means 1974 or if it was just a number. Meant nothing. But it would be around that era. It's a similar vintage to myself, I would say, this unit. And it's the simplest rotary plow you can make. It's just got a fan. It doesn't have, all the newer snowblower, the two-stage snowblowers have the cross augers that break up the snow and pull it in, and the fan just blows. And this kind of does all in one. So it's a very simple setup, and it has its drawbacks for sure. There's a reason why they make them different now, but it's a pretty formidable unit. In this area here, Richardson in Saskatoon manufactured one that had a bigger fan. I think this fan is around 4 feet in diameter, or the hole is anyway. The fan might be slightly less. So it's sizable, but the Richardson plows I think had even like 6-foot fans. They were kind of the cream of the crop around here when these were still being used to clear roads back in the day before graders got better and more reliable for using in the winter. So yeah, a lot of farmers had these, and a lot of them got used on roads to try and keep rural roads open in the winter in this area. So they're still lying around here. You can buy them usually fairly cheap, although depends on the year. When we start getting snow, then the price on snow plows tends to reflect the necessity for them, and you can sometimes still pay quite a bit for these old things. So yeah, let's cut this off. I haven't used my forge for a while, not this year. And I see I remember now that we stole a piece of pipe off my linkage there for a different project, so I got to tidy that back together so I have my bellows work. And my filing cabinet chimney, I see, has rusted through, and the bottom is fallen and drooping, so I have to tie that up somehow. What was made as just kind of a quick, let's see if I can make a forge thing, has actually worked now for a while, and so it's probably reaching the end of its service life in some ways, and so I'm going to have to, if I want to do more blacksmithing, which I do want to, I need to get more back into that this winter. And so yeah, there's a bit of maintenance on the forge. My dump filing cabinet has rusted through. It's almost like it wasn't made for this, but anyway, it'll still suck. It really sucks, this thing. So that's what you want. That's what you want in a chimney. Just get this guy warming up here. Can't be sure how hot it's going to need to be able to move that. Ha! All right, well, it was time to take a little break, let this all cool down, and take stock here and see where I'm at. I was just sizing this up against the other side that's still in good shape, just to see where I'm at. And the basic shape of it, it's hard to get here, hold it here without two hands. This curvature here I have good now. Basically the top half, I just need to curl the bottom in. So this bottom piece here I just need to roll in and have it tuck under a little bit. And that will, obviously it goes on this side. Bunch of grinding to do at each end where I cut it off, but just need to curl this in, and if I have to adjust my angle here or something, I can just do that with a bit of trimming. So basically, as far as the forge goes, I just need to heat up this end now and just put that curl in back this way, which it may have had, and I straightened it out. But it was so hard to tell with the whole thing being as cockeyed as it was. So yeah, I'm pretty happy actually with the way that's coming. And one more little session here, I should have it ready to weld back on. Got it in. Don't know quite how that happened, but it worked. So I have the tractor back in and we're pretty well hooked up. I have a couple of odds and ends because I changed a sprocket here. I've got a 1 tooth larger sprocket on top, and now my chain is too short, so I need to either add a link or ideally add a half link actually. So I need to get that looked after, but I'm hooked up back here and I've got the front axle bolted up. This is the mechanism here. It's kind of a busy, involved design, scissor kind of deal that lifts lifts this whole front end. This is one rigid frame, so basically it lifts on this main frame here. We refer to this as the pole usually, this whole contrivance that goes under the tractor. And And yeah, it just one hydraulic ram, a single acting ram there, pushes on this scissor, and that just up, sucks it up to the front axle of the tractor here. This is just bolted on with simple flanges. This tractor, I think he had a dozer blade at one time, so good lighting, excellent camera work. It has these little brackets that were welded on to the axle at one time, where a dozer blade bolted up, I think, but that was before we had it. So a new chain on the front, and I've got new bolts, tightened down that casting because it had come loose. Yeah, I've got a bit more to do up here as well. I got the fan back in place with ease, as you saw there, and it drives off the front off this flange here, and so that flange runs on this keyed shaft on the front, and then it bolts to the fan with two shear bolts here, and those holes were elongated and ugly, and I drilled them out bigger. So at the risk of putting more stress on chains and everything else, gone to just from a 1/2 inch to a 9/16 shear bolt. But for some reason this is fitting extremely tight on here. I had to pull it off with a gear puller, and I'd like it not to be quite that. I mean, it's good that it's tight, but I don't want to have to deform it pushing it on. So I'm going to do a little more fitting there. And I might try and find a bit of paint for my my reworked piece there that's now completely had the paint all burnt off of it from the forge. I mean, the whole machine is a little bit. When it comes to snow removal equipment, when it's used enough to wear the paint off, that's, you know, a bit of a point of pride in a way. So you almost hate to paint the thing, but anyway, we'll see. I probably won't paint the whole deal, but I would like to paint the bit that I forged off there anyway. Not a restoration, just a repair here, and just get ready for winter from a very practical standpoint. So I had sort of hoped to end this video with the thing running, and it's not quite there, but I'm gonna round this one out, and you can stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion, which will no doubt come. And if we get some snow this winter, I'll maybe get some video of the thing at work. We just never know here whether we have a lot of snow to plow or none at all. But most winters it gets used at some point. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Have a good Sunday, and we'll catch you on the next one.